Welcome to Illegal Elbow Radio. We are back. I want to let you guys know you guys can find us at illegalelbowradio.com. You can also find us on Facebook under Illegal Elbow Radio. You can find my good buddy Dan at MMA Aftermath on Facebook. I want to thank you for joining us. Your hosts, Brian and Dan, are here to put on a great show for you guys. Thanks a lot for joining us. Shit, man, what's going on, dude?
Nothing much. I just think I'm getting tired. You're getting tired. We're all getting tired of tough. Really, it's ran its course. It's in its fucking I don't know what season. I stopped watching a few years ago after fucking Rampage was kicking in cardboard doors. You know, it's turned into a drama situation, and they're taking less from the fights and the fighters, and going more into drama, bullshit, and I want to fight you, and bull. You know, it's just, I think they should, instead of having tough, they should have like, almost like an amateur fighting tournaments and shit like that, or fighting league, like UFC amateur fighting league, or something like that, where guys are going for belts and working their way up to the UFC to get into the UFC. You know?
Yeah, fucking UFC challengers.
Yeah.
I mean, just like Strikeforce challengers, you know what I mean? It's a card for all the guys that don't have a name yet, so you can focus on them, you know? I mean, but I mean, now that, you know, which I agree with what you're saying, but it's like now that it appears to be that way, the fucking tough show is everywhere. They got tough Brazil, tough Canada versus Australia, you know, I mean...
Saturation.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oversaturation, just like everything, man. Now when you have a card, every, you know... So, you know, they'll throw in a card on a Wednesday, you know, here and there, and they'll throw
one
in
good
some...
fight on it.
Yeah, exactly. One good fight, and then the rest is all no-namers. It's basically a Bellator card, but I don't know. I don't want to have a show full of ragging on session, but we tend to get on those quite a bit.
Oh, yeah, it's like you've taken a thing that was decent, and you've oversaturated, you've over-dramatized it, you've overhyped it, and, yeah, of course we're going to get a little fed up with it. We're kind of old school when it comes to, you know, we're old schoolers when it comes to fighting. You know, it's like we want to see fighting, we don't want to see the drama. If we want to watch the drama, we'll go turn on WWE.
Yeah, or Days of Our Lives or some shit. You know, if that's even still on, I don't know. That was on when I was a kid, but my sister used to make me watch it, but not really, but but yeah, I agree, man. It's ran its course a long time ago. Actually, there was probably not last season, but the season before. It was actually pretty good. I was impressed with a little bit of it because it seemed like the talent was really stacked. They did a pretty good job of finding some good talent, but it still had some of the stupid antics.
Letting the fighters get drunk and fight, you know.
The drama shit. You know, it just doesn't really belong. It's like, why don't it just be why don't they just make it a tournament? You know what I mean? Go ahead and copyright off of, Bellator, I guess. Which really, UFC started out with tournaments. So why can't they go back there? You know, because really, it's exciting. You know, you're seeing new guys, and you're seeing them a few times within a couple weeks span. You know what I mean? You're seeing them a few times fight, and it's a quicker way to get these guys, you know, into winning. You know what I mean? And getting on the getting on the main stage. I mean, you know.
Not only that, as you could have, like you're saying, a tournament, but like I was saying, a league where you can have different divisions, you know, that are coming up to be in their respective divisions. Plus, after a guy fights, he doesn't have to fucking get back in there in a week's worth of time. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Maybe we have a lot, because once they do this tough thing, it's only one fucking weight division. While heavyweights, lightweights, and whoever else is not fighting in that episode is sitting at home waiting and not getting any fucking opportunities to do shit until their weight class is available on Drama Central fucking Tough. You know, it's like have all the weight divisions, maybe have, you know, like a league working up into a tournament, and winner takes off, gets automatic bid into the fucking UFC, and the next season we start all over again. Fuck. That's just the way I think it would be. Because if you look at football, football. Well, they had the overseas. I guess football is not a good example, but I know basketball with the D League. I know baseball with AAA leagues.
Right.
Their teams are developing players, and I do this a lot when I'm talking about UFC. I always go back to talking about not comparing it, but almost comparing some aspects of other sports to what we're talking about right now.
Because they've been on the map for years. You know what I mean? So
it's successful for them,
right?
And it's bringing up and building up your talent. So one, they get an opportunity, and two, they get trained all the time they're in this league to come in and not make a fool of themselves. They might even get better.
Right. That's kind of like just real quick with what you're saying. A lot of Tigers players that have been impressive, but they've been in a little bit of a slump. They'll send them down to, go play in the league in Grand Rapids. The whatever you call it, the smaller leagues, lower leagues.
Yeah, the fucking mud hens. They'll send them over to the mud hens or whatever.
When they become a huge star. Well, not a huge star, but I mean they work their way back up over there. Things start looking good. All right, bring these guys back up. These guys are really hot.
Yeah, instead of working on your swing, you're working on your kick.
Right. Yeah, hell yeah. I think that's a great idea. Whether it gets to Dana, if you guys are listening, man, hey, if you're on Twitter, you're active on Twitter, throw it in Dana's ear because they're getting too far away from fighting now. It's too much drama and
we've talked about this
stories
in past shows, and I've heard it come up recently about Fighters Union, dude. We've talked about it in depth.
Yep.
Shows past.
Yeah.
About a fighters union, making it fair for the fighters. If they had a fighters union and things were agreed upon, let's say they got together and then the fighters unions and Zuffa and fucking UFC or whatever got in there and said, okay, we're going to agree on these rules. This is what you have to do. Bam, bam, bam. This is legal. This is not legal. Then somebody like Dana couldn't come in and say, oh, I'm going to take all your sponsors away and you can't. Well, you got to wear a uniformed whatever I come up with fucking shorts. You couldn't do that because it's not in the collective bargaining agreement,
Right.
That's not what we agreed on, bro. Okay? You're not going to come in here and do what the fuck you want. That's not what we agreed on. Sorry. Bye.
I personally think that we're years away from that probably, but it's definitely going to get there because some group of fighters along the line that have, some good, a good fan base and huge credibility, and they want them in there fighting, will take a stand, I think. And which I don't know if you want to base it on how much the country takes a stand nowadays with then they're just basically
it's not gonna happen.
It's definitely never going to happen because nobody really stands up for anything anymore. I mean,
they're fucking worried about finding their fucking remote control in their fucking couch or their car keys or something. Yeah. They're not worried about that. And they'll bitch about it.
Worried about their summer homes and where they're going to go when it's winter and whatnot. And I mean, that's pretty much it, man. It's like people really have to care for everybody and not just themselves. You know what I mean? That's what it comes down to. You got to care for the sport as a whole and not just how everything's going to go down for you.
Oh yeah, we live in a me world. That's for sure.
Damn straight. Yeah.
Everybody you see is fucking looking down at their fucking phones while they're driving, while they're walking, while they're fucking having a conversation with you.
Yeah.
That's our fucking world now. Not pay attention or give a shit generation.
Yeah, instant gratification generation.
Yeah. Fucking narcissistic fucking generation.
I want it all and I want it right now. On my phone, everything. Games, all my friends, all trapped in this one little device, everything.
Yep, my whole world.
That's pretty much it, man. Shit.
We got fucking GSP and OCD. We got TRT and the UFC. We got everything. Fuck. Every acronym and fucking whatever you could think
Epilepsy and... No.
Yeah.
With all this oversaturation, I could see some of that coming on, too, but,
But I'm just wondering why I'm hearing out of, what GSP is saying about how he's struggling with OCD. Okay. What I'm trying to figure out is what? Does he not like coming into the cage when it's bloody? He wants everything cleaned up real nice for him. Does he get there and he's brung so much shit with him because he's a hoarder that he can't find his fucking clothes? I don't know.
Exactly. What kind of OCD are we talking about? Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's like what are you getting at here? I mean,
I think from what I hear, it came down to perfection. Him wanting to be perfect all the time.
Well, I mean, it just comes with life. It's like, no, you're not going to be perfect all the time. I mean, I guess that's good to have that, that mindset. You want to be the top dog all the time. You want to win, win. It's a good sportsman attitude or whatever. But it's like at the same time, it's like sometimes some of these guys just go in there unsure. You don't have to be 1,000% going in every single time. I don't know. And he mentioned in his post-fight thing, before he said, I'm going on my hiatus or whatever, in other words. But he said, hey, I'm finding myself where I should be getting, 7-8 hours of sleep. I'm only finding myself getting 2 hours and 3 hours because I'm constantly awake. My brain is just, working, constantly thinking, can I win this fight? How can I win this fight? What's things are just haunting me. Basically, in other words, these are my words, not his, but, things are kind of haunting him rather than,
I think he's on the phone right now. Really, it is. It's come on, suck it up, because you got that one end of the spectrum where he can't handle it with OCD and woe is me, and then you got Spider Silva, who we see now is walking and grappling and practicing and wanting to come back with a fucking snapped fucking shin.
Yeah.
It's like, who wants it more? Who's this guy's fighting over a fucking a debilitating leg disease, and you're crying about because you can't get all your crayons in the fucking box in the right order.
No, it's a great analogy, man. And it's like I was just saying a minute ago, some of these guys go in there knowing that they're not 100%, and not all the ducks are in order here. You know what I mean? They're not in the line.
It's not going to be perfect for you every time.
Exactly, and it's like you have to just roll with it. You can't obsess over it and be all worried about it. It sounds to me like, honestly, it's not OCD at all. The guy just needs fucking time off, man. Step away from it for a while.
Yeah.
I don't.
It sounds like a cop.
Right. It kind of does. It really, to me, it's like just go with what you originally said. You're just gonna take some time off because nobody's gonna tell him that he can't take time off. Nobody's gonna disagree either. If anybody disagrees, it's like, what? You don't live this guy's life. You know what I mean? It's like, let the guy take the time off. I mean, everybody deserves time off. You know what I mean?
And he could take as long as he wants, because as soon as he wants to come back, Dana will be the first one to give him a nice fucking match because he knows the draw. He knows the pay-per-view draw of a GSP on any fucking card.
Oh, yeah. We all do. I mean, that's damn good. That's a damn hell of a draw. People... I mean, at this point, I would think, people want to see him lose more than they want to see him win just because he's been in there so long. It got to the point where I was like, I want to see Anderson Silva lose, but now that I did see it, it's like, well, wait a minute here. I think, I mean, just to spout this off quickly and not take anything away from somebody else, but it's like, I think Anderson Silva lost his first fight because he was clown-assing around, but he paid for it. And I'm not shying away from that at all. He paid for that, you know what I mean? And he knows he did. And the second fight, he threw a nasty ass kick, and it just so happens the dude was preparing for that, and so I wouldn't even really say Chris even won the fight. Just because somebody's not able to continue shouldn't necessarily mean that you won, but under whatever UFC rule, I don't even know if that's UFC rules or State Athletic Commission rules. I really don't know. If somebody can't continue, does UFC automatically consider them, the other guy the winner? I mean, because in the past we've seen, it go a couple different ways.
No contest.
Yeah, we've seen plenty of no contests. I haven't seen a no contest in UFC in fucking years. How long has it been? I mean, maybe one.
A lot of the lines are skewed, man. A lot of the lines are skewed nowadays.
Yeah, and it's got to make you wonder. You know what I mean? To me, it makes me wonder. It's like, well, wait a minute here. Why are so many, so many certain things? I got to wonder if some certain rules are UFC rules and some rules are State Athletic Commission rules, and maybe there's a little bit of agreement there. I don't know. I mean, I'm just totally speculating. Blind speculation, I guess. I don't, because I really don't know. But it's like, how can UFC go about doing this, but yet there is some no contest in other competitions? I don't, we may have seen a no contest in UFC within the last 5 or 6 years, but I'll bet you any money it's going to be a lot less than on one hand.
Probably not a title fight.
No, it's probably going to be a lot less than on one hand too. You're probably going to have like 3 or 4 of them probably. There is not very many no contests in UFC history. Not any time, not since Dana White's been in charge of it. You know what I mean? It's almost like do or die. You don't get no.
And that's the whole fucking problem with it right now, dude. Is Dana White is in charge of it, in my opinion.
We always get back to that, man.
We do.
And I'm not bitching about it, but it's like we always get back to it. It always comes around full circle, right around to him. It's like, what is it? Since he's been in charge, there's been certain things that just I don't know. Certain rules that just find their way in place, I guess.
Yeah. Rules and fucking talking bad about your fucking employees, shit like that gets to fans like me,
Hell yeah. It's bullshit.
Yeah.
Straight bullshit.
If you want to move on to another subject, we can, man.
Yeah, for sure, man. I'll throw this in real quick, man. This is interesting, and I thought kind of cool. Titan FC 27 is coming up real quick here. I'm not looking at the actual date. You guys can find that out anywhere. But 3 ex-UFC guys, possibly more, but I'm just seeing right on the very front advertisement. Michael Kuiper, Mike Ricci, and Matt Riddle are all on this card. George Gurgel, too. I think George Gurgel might have been on an early UFC card. Maybe. But I know he was in Strikeforce and Pride years ago. So, but I mean, those are all familiar faces. So, I mean, it's a pretty damn good card for at least a good showing for Titan. You know what I mean? So, but I just thought it was interesting to throw it out there. It actually looks like it should be a pretty good card, but for a lower promotion, man. Speaking of lower promotions, man, we can probably go over this one just a bit.
I've been hearing so many people and I typed on one of the things I said, hot garbage equals fucking dumpster fire. And from Bella Snore or Bella Boar, anyone you want to call it, it was a fucking abomination of.
It was nothing. It was really, honestly, in terms of like fighting content, like MMA content. You're really not seeing anything. You're seeing Viacom, is what I think, because I think by a close fight, it was a close fight in my opinion. King Mo, I think, lost, but I think it was really, really arguably very close. But I think
seems like all King Mo's fucking fights.
I think he should be 3 fights down right now. I think he should be. I think Mikhail Zayats did what he had to do to win that fight.
And we know Gagar Masasi won that fucking fight from the guard. You can watch that 100 fucking times.
Yeah.
Look at King's Mo's face after the fight and tell me who the fuck won.
Right. He beat the living crap out of him while lying underneath him. Beat the living crap out of that guy, elbows to the eyes and shit. That dude was all jacked up. The only reason why he won is because he's at an advantageous position. Give me a fucking break, man. If you're taking shots, you're taking shots. Yep.
Advantageous position just discredits fucking. When you say that discredits fucking jiu-jitsu to the core altogether. Yeah. That you fight a lot of people won fights from the fucking guard. It's a part of MMA.
Yep.
An advantageous position. You get some get the boxing judges out of there. Fuckers.
Yeah, exactly. The fucking boxing rules and all that crap. And it's a rarity that we ever see a 10-8 anymore. You know what I mean? It's always 10-9, 10-9, 10-9. There's never a 10-8 round or, it's a rarity. It happens now and then, very rare, but it's barely ever happens anymore, especially in UFC, which I find is ironic.
I think the fucking point system or whatever needs to be fucking overhauled or redone.
Totally overhauled, yeah. Refigured out. In other news, fucking Lyoto Machida, man. Fucking look at the score he got recently. He's just coming out of he's just coming out of a winning match here, which is a close fight. A good fight, you know what I mean? Which I thought, Don't get me wrong. I thought Musashi could have done a little bit different stuff to kind of open things up and do a little bit better for himself. And I think we will see that. I think he kind of realizes, hey, I laid back a little too much.
Well, that was up for speculation too, just for the simple fact if you look at the stats, Musashi outstruck Machida, but I guess the more solid shots and the more meaningful shots were landed by Machida. It was a very, and we talked about it before the fight about this being a very apprehensive fight, about both fighters having major respect for each other and both fighters not really going crazy and doing any wild shit.
Right.
That's exactly what we're fucking seeing the whole fucking fight, bro.
Oh yeah, totally. And it's funny that you mentioned that, because the first thing I thought of when you just said what you said was, in UFC they always say, hey, this guy landed more significant strikes. Yeah. Oh, well, wait a minute. What if this other guy landed a bunch of shit jabs? Do those not count? You still, if they're landing, they're landing. That's what you call point fighting.
And that's up for personal interpretation, which is shit. A point is a point. A jab, a punch landed to the face or the midsection or whatever, a point scoring area, is a point.
Absolutely, man.
You don't get a point plus or a point a point, 2.0 for a better... It's not how. If you want to do it, then change the rules that way.
Right.
They're not that way, so don't do it that way.
Right. They're not. They're not that way at all. It shouldn't.
But I'm not chewing on sour grapes over here. It was a good fight. It could have went either way, but the Dragon took it. Hats off. They're both fucking awesome fucking champions, and they're both one of our fucking favorite fighters. And I loved watching it. I just wish, like you were saying, it could have been Gagar could have done more, and maybe it could have been a little more action packed. But we got what we thought we were going to get.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're going to see a different Musashi around the next time. I think we should anyway. And if we don't, then it's not to sound like a dickhead, but it's his own fault if we don't see a different Musashi, because this guy can open up and land strikes and beat the fuck out of people. We've seen it several times.
And you know what? And a lot of people got to be looking at some of those fucking kicks he fucking took, dude, and ate them and was unfucking phased, bro.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that they would have been, bam, lights out, done.
Yeah.
Done, dude. This guy...
The night's over.
I gotta say right now, one of the best fucking chins to take a fucking dragon fucking kick like that, dude.
Yeah, absolutely, man. But in light of that whole discussion there, shit, man, what's your take on your first thought for Lyoto Machida taking on Chris Weidman?
I think Chris Weidman he's a very astute a student of the game. Student of the fucking fight game, and he's going to fucking watch film. He's going to study you. He's just not going to go out and do his fucking style. This is my style. I'm going to do it. My style's going to win. He's going to look at your fucking style, and he's going to look how he can fucking beat your style. So I think he's going to come in with a fucking tactical, not advantage, but a tactical fucking game plan to cut off the ring and good fucking strikes without leaving yourself open for the fucking signature dragon counter strikes.
Yeah.
So I think he's going to come in well prepared. Now this is going to be a close fight, but I'm going to pick fucking Weidman in this one, and I'm going to pick him by fucking knockout.
Yeah,
I think he's going to sneak one in there because Lyoto Machida, backing up, has been fucking caught trying to run away from people before. We've seen that, and he's been knocked the fuck out. So
no, I think that's a good assessment, man, for sure. Damn straight. Chris has been great at what he's done. A lot of people forget about the Silva fights and how good he's looked in those. He's remained calm when a lot of people have just buckled under the pressure when Silva's showboating and doing this and that. A lot of people have just buckled under the pressure.
Frustrated, yet frustrated.
Yeah, he's kept calm, and I believe in my abilities. And he's also got Ray Longo in his corner, a long time, kickboxing.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, this guy, with his coming out with, hey, we got, I got this move I want to show you. When somebody throws an inside leg kick, which this guy landed a lot of them. I don't know if some people out there listening might not know about this, but you probably are. You probably do now. But I mean, if you haven't before,
if you watch K1, then you probably know.
Well, right. I mean, but Ray Longo, Matt Serra, they're all on the same team as Chris Weidman. Matt Serra mentioned the whole destruction, which if you throw an inside leg kick, which they were, Anderson Silva was doing a lot of that in the first fight, and really making things difficult for Chris. So,
and this is what we're talking about watching the film,
right? So for the second fight, they watched film, and Ray Longo said, "Okay, I'm going to show you what destruction is." And he said, when somebody's coming with an inside leg kick like that, you have to point your knee towards the kick. Point your knee towards the kick so that the shin lands right directly on your knee, and or directly on just the inside of your knee, so that it's basically shin on sheer bone, and it's just collapsing under the pressure. There's no soft spot for it to land, and that's what we saw. I mean, and Chris implemented it and worked it perfectly. So what does this guy do? This guy gets the game plan, sees the film, and gets the information from the teacher, and we saw it. He implemented it perfectly.
Executed to a
Executed. Better, even a better term. Executed beautifully.
And there's been back talk and all this, how he's injured
too,
Spider.
Man. I mean, back flack too.
Yeah, back flaps and fucking all that shit, But he got a lot of shit from doing that, But hey, what are you going to do? You're going to sit there and let your ligament get damaged?
Exactly.
What the fuck are you talking about? This move is used in kickboxing and Muay Thai. Okay, it's called checking a kick.
Right.
If you don't want to get your shit, don't come in hard and don't come in high. Stay low. Hey,
Anderson Silva could have easily stuck with the outside kicks and done it that way. He didn't have to go inside, and once he went inside, he was in their world, and what they prepared for, and he paid for it.
Yeah, and you know what? Silva's at his camp right now saying, "Hey, I'm not going to make that mistake twice," because he's not training to come back to fight. He's training to come back to get the fucking belt back, bro.
Yeah,
he's not worrying about OCD or fucking PMS or fucking this and that. He wants
or TUF or tough. He's not worried about that either.
Or TRT.
Right. No, but I bet you any money.
TED.
I wouldn't. Yeah, really. I wouldn't even be surprised though if Anderson Silva had to take like a number 5 in order to fucking get a shot, because.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying he's getting it right back because he's already fucking lost twice.
Yeah, because I mean UFC right now, if they were to give him a shot, it's like, wait a minute, fuckers.
Yeah, I would not be cool with that.
No, I'd be like, well, what the, now you're just a candy ass. You're other
cash grab.
Yeah, total cash grab. If you're not letting this guy earn his spot again and at least beat a lesser opponent in order to earn a title shot, a lot of other people have not gotten that shot. So don't make him special just because he was a champion for 7 years or whatever it is. The guy might just fucking be done. We might not know it yet. The guy might just fucking be done. He's still got the will to train and do whatever he has to do, but when it comes to fighting, and being in there, who knows? I mean, I'm not betting on it. I'm betting he's still going to look really good and still going to intimidate a shitload of people. But you never know, man. You never know until you see it. We've seen it with guys like Mark Coleman, Tito Ortiz, Chuck Liddell. You at the point when you get to that point where this guy can't compete at this level anymore. He's got to either go down in levels or just get the fuck out of it altogether, man. He's got to stop because this is just not happening anymore.
Well, that's the new trend, is just to change weight divisions, to save some face.
Right.
When you've been dominated, and in your heart of hearts you're not going to beat this opponent, you're going to pull a Uriah Faber. You're going to get the fuck out of the division.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't even think Anderson Silva would do that.
Done much better.
I because I think even if he were to go to a higher division or a lower division, I don't think it's going to help him any. You know what I mean? We've seen the same Anderson Silva at light heavyweight than we've seen at the middleweight. You know what I mean? He pretty much performs the same way with whether he's got weight on him or not. Which he might even get knocked the fuck out even worse if he gets in with a light heavyweight. Who knows? At this point anyway, at his age, All right, people, we're going to take a quick break, man, but we're going to come back with you some Joe Rogan style news.
Who gives a fuck what you think?
Joe Rogan is telling us that UFC is going to make a major announcement in the women's division of a big name that we all know of, and we'll talk more about that after I play this, that's going to be coming in to challenge Ronda Rousey.
And let's spend a minute talking about the ladies, because there's no one good for Ronda Rousey to fight at this point.
You're so incorrect. I wish I could tell you what I know. I wish I could tell you. I know some secret stuff.
Who's out there that we don't know about that's good enough to really challenge her?
You might actually know, but I can't tell you.
Okay.
I can say no more.
Are they in the top 10?
I can say no more than I've already said.
Are they in the top 10?
I will tell you this, and this is a K-Rock exclusive. Within the next probably week or so, a huge announcement will come about women's fighting, and I'll be back in, and we'll talk some more.
Is that right?
Yeah, it's going to be crazy.
Let's talk about it now, though.
Madness. I wish I could, but I would betray the confidence of my friend and employer.
Rod is so fun to watch.
So that's about it. And there's two possibilities there that I see.
Yeah, I don't.
There's only two, really.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's I see one. You know what I mean? I don't know how he could be talking about anybody else, because I mean, she's been so in the spotlight and so just calling this fight out, and without Tito's help, obviously, because her and Tito are no longer, Tito's no longer representing her. She's got her own. It's her own free will. She has to promote herself. You know what I mean? So. And Tito did everything he could to not get her into that fight, so she's got to do what she's got to do in order to, get some coin in her pocket and break bread and do whatever she's got to do. I mean,
well, another possibility, and I was talking to one of my followers on the page, MMA Aftermath on Facebook, Bobby Kalari and I were talking about the possibilities of another fighter that has been retired for some time because Cyborg herself fucking ruined her face, and she was like, am I going to either do fucking films or am I going to stay in here and get my face wrecked? And she chose films. But Gina Carano.
Yeah, we talked about her the other night, man. Shit. Man, I'll tell you what, if that's their big announcement, that's fucking weak ass.
It is, and it's a long shot. But out of the two, even out of the two that we're talking about right now, aside from Kat Zagano, because we know she's fucking recovering right now, because that's the number one for me.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to see fucking Kat get in there and whip some fucking ass. But anyway, I am bringing up Carano for the simple fact is the way Dana's been disrespecting fucking Cyborg all this time. Almost like refuting her. I would have seen more if they would have announced this in fucking September or October. I could say, yeah.
What?
But for the long shot, I'm going to say Carano because her fucking movie career is fizzling out, basically. So I don't know. That's why I'm saying long shot. Those are my two fighters that I see that could, do it. But like you said, it's probably going to be Cyborg just because of the hype train, dude.
Yeah.
Cyborg on her own, like you said, getting away from fucking Tito, getting on the internet and showing her videos and telling, all this, how she wants to fight. She's fucking made the hype herself.
Right.
Way better than Tito's fucking dumbass could even do.
That whole speech, I don't know if you guys remember that. You guys listening, if you guys remember that video. How about possibly the worst fucking speaker in MMA possibly ever? I mean, and this guy's representing you. He can't even fucking speak in a crowd. He's representing somebody. Get the fuck out of here, clown! Absolute clown. Yeah. But anyway, man, we're getting another Tito ragging session. But I honestly think it's if it's not Cyborg. If it's like an Alexis Davis kind of thing, which is not taking nothing away from Alexis Davis, it's not worthy of a huge announcement, okay, dickhead. It's not. It's a hey, let me entice you over here, making you think it's Cyborg when it's really Alexis Davis. It's a typical dickhead move. If he's going to do something like that, which like I said, man, I'm not bagging on Alexis Davis. If she's the next one to fight her, she's the next one to fight her. Fight styles make fights, you know what I mean? So she may be that person to go in there and be able to roughneck this chick and and beat her ass enough to where she can't pull off a submission or a. That's why I think it's got to be Cyborg. It's got to be, and if it's not, then it's just it's another form of new UFC clown show.
Mm-hmm.
There's no, I don't think there's any way around it, but it's definitely top news, dude. I would think that's probably top news as of right now. The buzz going on with that, and they're just that right there just created a bunch of huge buzz. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, who knows? But some other news that's not as big is fucking, I don't know if they released him or not, but Nate Diaz demanding his fucking release from the UFC.
Yeah.
So I don't know what that's all about. If he's trying to make his exodus to Bellator. If it hasn't happened yet, it's probably going to happen if he keeps crying and bitching. But the Diaz brothers, it's just every other month you're hearing some complaining or something or other from him, and it's just, it doesn't make the family name look good when you do that all the time, but I guess that's their style. So I'm fucking tired and done with it. I've been tired and done with it like fucking 2-3 years ago.
Yeah.
So if you want to add anything to it, go for it.
I
man.
think a lot of the crying and bitching is mostly Nick. You know what I mean? Which, he fought GSP and failed miserably and whatever, and he fought Nick Diaz got his ass whipped by Carlos Condit also, which Carlos Condit is, in my opinion, fucking one of the top dogs, man.
Both got their asses fucking whipped by GSP. So.
Right, and they're both, obviously one's number 1 and one's number 2, in my opinion. So, and Nick Diaz couldn't beat them, so he doesn't want to bother fighting the UFC right now because it's like I can't beat anybody, so I just got to sit over here and cry about it. Well,
they don't want to fucking if Matt Brown's in that division, they don't want to fuck with him because he's on a fucking collision course.
It's funny, we're in this corner now, and a couple of years ago we weren't. We were fucking direct opposite.
Why would you be?
Yeah. No, he's looked badass lately. Last couple of years he's looked fucking awesome. But I think
fucking reinvented fighter.
Yeah, reassess, man. But I think Nate Diaz is just jumping on his brother's wagon and thinking that, which
falling coattails.
Personally, I think Nate Diaz realizes, if I'm going to go out on a big note right now, there comes a time I think where every cocky fighter comes to a realization that it's like I'm either going to go in there and win this or I'm not going to. And I think once they get the top fighters, they can't win it. So I think he's calling for his hey. Once I get my release, I can throw my name out there to every, because he's a big name right now.
Yeah,
with
he is.
All these...
Anybody that comes from the UFC that's had some good victories, showcase victories in the biggest organization in mixed martial arts.
Especially a Diaz. What kind of Bellator? What kind of Bellator wouldn't want a Nick or a Nate Diaz? Bellator.
They want money.
Bellator would be just on their knees, blowing hard, stroking the best they can in the top form. Tongue bathing, top form, stroking. Doing whatever they can to get them guys in there. But you're probably right on. They want too much money.
And that goes right along with your realization of, I'm not going to be the best of the best in this organization, and I'm going to go for the cash grab. When you finally say, hey, I can't take the gold. I'm not good enough. I'm going to talk myself up like, oh, the powers that be are fucking me, and this happened to me, and I can really take GSP out. I was just playing, or whatever the fuck Nick was saying after he got his ass handed to him. It's just an excuse on top of an excuse for two fighters that are just not good enough. So go get the money. I don't blame them. Go get the money.
You may as well, because
as soon as they leave, they're going to badmouth the fuck out of this organization.
Oh yeah. Get the release. Go point your face out to some of these other organizations. Hey man, I'm looking for a fight. I don't want to fight in UFC right now. I want to backpedal a little bit. I want to, why would they not be all over that? And why wouldn't
they might sign that contract and get sick of them within 6 months. Probably.
Yeah, they might. Yeah. There's behind the curtains. Who knows? Dana might be bad mouthing him to other promos. Who knows? Because if people think that Dana's not talking to other promotions, Dana just signed 3 girls from Invicta. Like he's not talking to an Invicta. to get all three of these chicks. Like they all went behind Invicta's back.
Well, no, they got Felicia Herring now. That's the big thing because she is hot as hell. Okay, I don't care if she's a fucking flyweight or P-weight or whatever the hell they're calling it over there, because they're gonna, I guess, try some new weight classes in the women's division. So, which I think they should have done in the beginning because, fuck. Not every woman's built like Ronda Rousey,
Right. Or
same with the guys. Everybody's not built the fucking same.
So are they talking like 100-pound weight division? Or are they talking?
I think it's like 110, 120 or something like that. I don't know.
I know isn't there a 115-pound division? I mean, I don't know, but
I'm not really versed on that. I just read.
Yeah, I don't know enough about it either.
And seeing the dude wrapping her tits up, which that caught my attention really fast.
Oh yeah, I totally hear that.
It was like, the quotation was, this guy's got a really hard job fucking taping her tits up, for every
nice
fight.
rack. Let me wrap your cans up here real quick, and we'll figure it out. But shit, man, due to time constraints, you want to get to this Gustaffson Manuwa card?
Yeah. Oh my god, dude!
It's got to be Fight Night 37, right?
12. Oh, it's 3 p.m. It's gonna be noon. It's gonna start at fucking noon on Saturday. Okay, which means Gustaffson's going to officially fight around 4 or 5 o'clock, probably.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be over at Cuz's house watching that, and they're gonna, they'll probably re-show it. You just have to stay in the bubble.
Fuck, I'll be nowhere near the TV at that point. Shit.
Unless you want to be, if you're going to tune in Fight Piss?
Yeah, Fight Piss might have a few fights on here if they're not blocked out. Who knows, man?
No, every fight is on Fight Piss.
Yeah, Ultimate Fight Piss preliminary card. That's if it's not blocked out in your country. Your boy Alir Latifi's taking on Sorel Diabate.
Yeah, fucking Diabate, man. Well, yeah, you got the Nelson brothers, one of the band members from the Nelson brothers, Gunnar. He's going to be in there.
Yeah. So. He's going to be taking on Omari Akhmedov. I don't know a ton about Omari. I believe we've seen. I don't think it's his debut. I believe we've seen him already.
Yeah,
if not once or twice.
Diego Pepperto.
Is he one fight in UFC or 2 fights in?
Yeah, one.
Okay.
This will be a second fight.
Well, he's 12-1. Gunner's 11-0-1. He's got 1 no contest or whatever you want to call it. And this dude's impressive to watch. If you have not seen Gunnar Nelson yet, you need to grab whatever drinks you're drinking and just fucking plant yourself and watch this guy, because this guy is something else, man. And he's coming off an injury. As long as he's 100% coming in here, you can plan on a kick-ass match. This is going to be a cool-ass fight. And if, I don't know what's going on with Akhmedov here. But if this guy ain't fucking ready to go, which 12-1, it's a nice record, but who's he fought? We don't know yet.
It says 12-0 here.
Yeah,
so
it says
they're both undefeated.
Okay, it says 12-0. It says 12-1 here, which one I'm looking at.
Oh, you're probably looking at fucking
Convert.
Fight. Oh, Convert.
Which Convert's?
Yeah, I don't know. That might have.
Convert's been all right, but I mean, it's been it's had some mistakes here and there, so. Not every postings are.
Fucking UFC has too, so.
Right. Fuck, UFC still has Randy Couture on their fucking fight roster, so how fucked up is that? But
they might even have Chuck Liddell on it still.
Actually, I'm pretty sure they do. It's like, what the fuck is that? I'm sure Mark Holm.
Nice fucking
I mean, if you're doing that, why don't you just have Mark Coleman and Tito Ortiz still on the list? Come on, guys. But I think Gunnar, obviously,
at fucking 38 and 38 or whatever the fuck he was.
Brad Pickett though, 23 and 8, coming against Neil Seary. Neil Seary's 13 and 9. I don't know nothing about Neil Seary's background, who he's fought, stuff like that. I've not studied the guy. Brad Pickett though, I know is ready to fucking go. I think his last couple fights out, he's had some rough times, but this could be a really good fight for Pickett to get back on the small map here, I should say. You know, not in contention or nothing like that, but a nice map anyway. The fight after that, though, is what I'm really looking forward to. And I'm talking Melvin Gillard, but he's taking on Michael Johnson, dude. We've seen Michael Johnson as of lately. Michael Johnson's last couple fights, this dude is unstoppable. This dude is awesome.
Yeah. You fucking go through fucking Gleason Tebow and fucking Joe Luzon, dude. Those are some fucking top guys right there.
Yeah, so. Those are guys that I think, you know, Melvin Gillard, you know, Melvin Gillard's had some hard times here and there. You know what I mean? But he, you know, when he comes out and he's on point and he's fucking ready to go, he's top notch. But it's like Michael Johnson can give you a lot of hard times. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. And he can knock your ass right the fuck out too.
Yeah. So I think this is going to be a fight to watch. This might even fucking trump the main event. This might be just a straight better fight than the main event. Who knows?
Yeah, because I think the main event's going to be Domination Nation, but I think Gus is going to fucking annihilate fucking Manuwa.
Manuwa's undefeated, man. So I mean, this is a cool. I think it's a cool matchup for Gustaffson because this guy is undefeated and he's fought, you know, some decent likes, whatever. You know what I mean? He's fought some decent opponents. And he's collected a lot of dudes, man. I mean, he's done a really good job.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's going to be a striking match. That's for sure. This is going to end up. This ain't going to be no submission match, dude. I see somebody's getting knocked the fuck out.
And I'll tell you what, you better work Gustaffson real hard if you plan on tiring him out by the 5th round. Mm-hmm. This guy will go till. I mean, we saw Gustaffson with the champion. And he looked tired in the 5th, and that was it, man. Every other round, this guy was ready to go. This guy still has champion.
But if you're tired in the 5th after throwing in every 4, you know, for 4 rounds, then you got, hey, whatever, you know.
Nobody's going to give you shit over that, dude. This guy threw everything but the fucking kitchen sink at John Jones. And landed a lot of them. I thought he did fucking great against John Jones. In my opinion, man. I thought Gustaffson, okay, they pushed him up a little bit fast, but I was totally wrong. He stepped up to the plate and had a lot more hits than I thought he would ever have. I mean, he looked great throughout the entire fight. A lot of people make the argument that, you know, he won it, but it is what it is, man. I mean, I think Manuwa's got a good shot, but I agree. I think Gustaffson will take it. Gustaffson has sick-ass reach. The guy's a tall dude, and he knows how to use it.
And you know what's real fucked up about this is you had a bad outing with this 170 fucking debacle, okay? Then you follow it up with the China Tough, which nobody fucking seen because it happened at fucking 11 a.m. in the morning, okay?
Right.
And then you're going to follow that up with fucking London, England, and it's happening it starts at noon.
Right.
It starts at noon over here. I'm in bed still. Maybe. If I'm out doing snow the previous night.
Well, dude. You got an extra half hour because right here it says 12:30 Eastern time.
Oh shit!
You got an extra half hour of sleep that you can catch up on. So there you go, man.
Well, that's if it's not. You know, I heard it might be in Chicago that you could see it, but not in Detroit. Even though it's on the internet.
Right. Well, they'll have Detroit blocked out. They'll have that you know, section, that region of America will be blocked out. But you might be able to check it on Chicago. You might be
not in your area due to high crime.
But yeah, shit, man.
What's their fucking reason? I don't
know. Yeah. People, due to time constraints, man, we got to get out of here. Let you guys get back to your deal. Like I said, man, illegalelbow.com.
MMA Aftermath on Facebook.
Go over, check that out, man. Dan's got a shit ton of Michigan fighters, Detroit fighters. Good stuff to be had over there, man. So take a look, both sites, and we will see you next week. Hopefully, you guys enjoy the show. A little bit of a little change up we've been planning on doing. So hopefully, you guys like it. Let us know what you think, and we will see you guys next week, man. Take it easy, brother.
Later, man. Great show.
Thanks, man.
Later, people.
See you later, man.
Steadfast.
God beer.